In the early 1970s, The Carol Burnett Show stood as one of the most beloved comedy programs in the United States. Families across the country tuned in every week to enjoy the chemistry of Carol Burnett, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway, and Vicki Lawrence. Harvey, who was one of the central stars of the show, earned around $25,000 per episode, which was considered an impressive sum for that era. However, instead of showing gratitude, Harvey's attitude began to shift in ways that shocked his co-stars. He started ignoring Tim Conway's improvised jokes, which ruined several sketches, and his mood swings became a problem for the rest of the team. Guest stars also noticed his impatience, and the energy of the set was changing. One of the worst moments came when Harvey slammed a door in Carol Burnett's face after an argument. Carol, who was usually patient and understanding, had reached her limit. Without hesitation, she called Harvey's agent and declared that he was fired from the show. The announcement sent waves through the production team, since Harvey had been there since the early days. Yet, what followed surprised everyone. Instead of leaving bitterly, Harvey realized the weight of his actions. He apologized to Carol and promised to do better. Carol gave him one chance. Come back on Monday with a new attitude and a smile. Amazingly, Harvey returned cheerful, whistling through the hallways, and never caused such issues again. Carol forgave him, and he remained on the show for 5 more years. This moment showed Carol's strength as both a friend and a leader. She valued her cast members deeply, but she also protected the positive spirit of the show. It was this balance of kindness and firmness that made Carol not only a great performer, but also a respected figure in the entertainment industry. Carol Burnett's ability to handle difficult situations with grace came from her tough beginnings. Born in 1933 in San Antonio, Texas, Carol grew up in a household marked by instability. Both of her parents struggled with alcoholism, and she often felt the absence of a stable family environment. Eventually, she was raised by her grandmother in a small apartment in Hollywood. Money was always tight, and Carol had to learn how to make the best out of difficult circumstances. She found comfort in movies, music, and especially in making people laugh. Humor became her escape, and her way of coping with loneliness. Despite financial hardships, Carol dreamed big. She attended UCLA with hopes of becoming a playwright, but discovered her talent for performance when she joined acting classes. She quickly realized that she had a gift for comedy, using her expressive face, sharp timing, and natural charm to captivate audiences. Still, the road to success was not easy. Carol faced countless rejections and had to rely on small roles and odd jobs to survive. One story she often shared was about a mysterious benefactor who gave her $50 as a loan to move to New York City to pursue her career. With no contract or strings attached, the person simply asked her to help others if she ever became successful. This act of kindness stayed with Carol forever, shaping her outlook on life. She carried that lesson into her career. Success meant not only fame, but also generosity and gratitude. The hardships of her early years created a foundation of resilience. Carol knew what it meant to struggle, and that knowledge made her more empathetic to others. These experiences prepared her for the unpredictable world of show business and later helped her navigate the challenges of fame, family, and personal loss. Carol's journey into show business was filled with determination and courage. After arriving in New York, she faced countless auditions, rejections, and financial struggles. Yet, she never lost her optimism. She began performing in small nightclubs and eventually gained attention for her singing voice, comedic timing, and ability to connect with audiences. Her big break came when she was cast in Once Upon a Mattress, a Broadway musical where her performance drew rave reviews. This role opened the door to television opportunities, including appearances on The Gary Moore Show, where she became a regular cast member. Audiences loved her humor and charm, and she quickly became a household name. What set Carol apart from others was her willingness to make herself look silly for the sake of comedy. At a time when women in television were often expected to be glamorous and polished, Carol broke the mold by embracing slapstick humor, exaggerated expressions, and outlandish characters. She wasn't afraid to tumble on the floor, wear ridiculous costumes, or make faces that other actresses might avoid. This bravery earned her admiration and respect in an industry that often underestimated women's comedic potential. By the mid-1960s, Carol had proven she had both the talent and star power to carry her own show. When CBS offered her the chance to host the Carol Burnett Show in 1967, she seized the opportunity. The network was hesitant at first, thinking a variety show led by a woman might not succeed. But Carol proved them wrong. The program became an instant hit, running for 11 seasons and earning 25 Emmy Awards. It wasn't just comedy. It was a celebration of laughter, creativity, and teamwork. Carol's rise to fame showed that talent, courage, and persistence could break down barriers in Hollywood. Her success opened doors for future female comedians, leaving a legacy that went far beyond the laughs. When the Carol Burnett Show premiered in 1967, it quickly captured the hearts of audiences. Each week, viewers tuned in to see Carol and her cast perform comedy sketches, musical numbers, and hilarious parodies of popular movies and television shows. The chemistry among Carol, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway, and Vicki Lawrence made the show unforgettable. Their ability to make each other laugh, sometimes even breaking character on stage, added an authentic charm that fans loved. One of the most iconic parts of the show was the Q&A session at the beginning, where Carol would interact directly with the studio audience. Her warmth and quick wit made everyone feel like they were part of the fun. Behind the scenes, Carol fostered an atmosphere of creativity and respect. Unlike some stars who demanded the spotlight, she encouraged collaboration, allowing her co-stars to shine. This leadership style made the show feel like a family, and that energy came across on screen. Memorable sketches, like the Went with the Wind parody or Tim Conway's dentist routine, became television history. The show not only entertained but also brought people together. Families gathered around the TV to share laughter, creating moments that are still remembered fondly today. Even decades later, clips from the Carol Burnett Show continued to go viral, proving the timeless quality of the comedy. What made the program truly special was its balance of silly humor and genuine heart. Carol's ability to laugh at herself, combined with her kindness and generosity toward her cast and crew, set a standard rarely matched in television. At a time when the entertainment world was changing rapidly, the Carol Burnett Show remained a constant source of joy and laughter. Its success showed that comedy, when done with honesty and creativity, has the power to bring people together across generations. Behind the laughter and success, Carol Burnett faced many personal challenges. She married Don Soroyan in the 1950s, but the marriage did not last long. Later, she married television producer Joe Hamilton, with whom she had 3 daughters, Carrie, Jody, and Erin. While Carol enjoyed the love of family, she also experienced heartbreak. Her oldest daughter, Carrie, struggled with addiction in her teenage years. Carol, determined to help her, enrolled Carrie in rehabilitation programs and supported her through recovery. Their bond grew stronger as Carrie turned her life around and pursued a career in acting and writing. Tragically, in 2002, Carrie passed away from cancer at the age of 38. Carol has spoken openly about the pain of losing her daughter, describing it as the hardest experience of her life. Yet, she also shared how Carrie inspired her with resilience and creativity. Another challenge was balancing fame with personal life. Being one of the most famous women in television came with enormous pressure, and Carol sometimes felt torn between her career and her role as a mother. Still, she managed to provide love and stability to her daughters, often reminding them that family came first. Carol's ability to face personal struggles with honesty and strength made her even more admired by fans. She showed that even in moments of great success, life can bring deep challenges, and what matters most is how we handle them. Her openness about loss, addiction, and family struggles has inspired many, proving that vulnerability and strength can exist side by side. After the Carol Burnett Show ended in 1978, Carol continued to perform in films, stage productions, and television. She appeared in movies like Annie, 1982, where she played the role of the cruel Miss Hannigan, showing her ability to take on both comedic and dramatic characters. She also guest starred in many television shows and specials, always bringing her unique charm and humor. Over the years, she received countless awards, including 6 Emmy Awards, a Golden Globe, and even the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2005, she was recognized with the Kennedy Center Honors, celebrating her contribution to American culture. In 2019, the Golden Globes created the Carol Burnett Award for Lifetime. The firing of Harvey Korman was not just a dramatic moment on the Carol Burnett Show, became a turning point in his career and personal growth. When Carol told him to return with a better attitude, Harvey took it seriously. He came back with renewed energy, and from that point on, he became one of the most reliable and hilarious parts of the program. His sketches with Tim Conway, especially the famous dentist routine, became legendary. In fact, their chemistry was so strong that many times they could barely stay in character without bursting into laughter. And audiences loved every second of it. Carol often said that Harvey was one of the most talented comedians she had ever worked with. But she also knew he needed that wake-up call to appreciate the opportunity he had. Their friendship grew stronger after the incident, and they remained close until Harvey's death in 2008. Carol even spoke at his memorial service, recalling the many moments of joy he brought into her life and the lives of millions. This story shows that sometimes tough love can save a friendship rather than end it. Carol's ability to stand firm but also offer forgiveness created a bond of respect that lasted a lifetime. Harvey himself admitted in later interviews that being fired by Carol was one of the best things that ever happened to him because it made him reevaluate his priorities. Their story is not just about comedy, but about accountability, forgiveness, and the importance of second chances. It highlights why Carol Burnett was not only a great entertainer, but also a wise leader who knew how to handle people with both strength and compassion. No discussion of the Carol Burnett Show would be complete without mentioning Tim Conway, whose partnership with both Harvey Korman and Carol Burnett brought endless joy. Tim was a master of improvisation, often slipping in unexpected lines or physical gags that left everyone laughing uncontrollably. Harvey, in particular, struggled to keep a straight face when working with Tim, which became part of the charm of the show. Carol encouraged this spontaneity rather than controlling it, understanding that genuine laughter made the sketches even more memorable. Behind the scenes, Tim's lighthearted nature balanced out the occasional tension that came with producing a weekly variety show. He was known for being humble, kind, and endlessly funny, often entertaining the cast and crew even when the cameras weren't rolling. Carol admired his ability to find humor in any situation, and she gave him the freedom to experiment, which enriched the program's comedy. One of the most famous examples was the Elephant Story sketch, where Tim's improvisation left Harvey completely unable to contain his laughter. Moments like these became television gold and are still shared widely today on social media. Carol often said that working with Tim was like a gift, because his humor came from a place of joy rather than ego. Their collaboration showed the importance of trust and respect in creative partnerships. By giving Tim the space to shine, Carol demonstrated her confidence as a leader who didn't need to hog the spotlight. Instead, she created an environment where everyone could contribute their best. The result was a show that felt authentic, fresh, and timeless. Tim's presence not only added to the success of the program, but also deepened Carol's belief in the value of teamwork and creative freedom. When Carol Burnett launched her variety show